How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of Hardwood Heroes. Just 2 episodes left and more girls team seasons are over, but we are still going strong. The boys have finally started the postseason, and we even have TVC matchups in the tournament. You're not going to want to miss all of the postseason action we have to give you. No more waiting, let's tip it off. Our reporters were at those tournament games this week, and we'll be breaking down those games for you. My online host, Tommy, is going to be showcasing every 1,000-point scorer and how they made it happen this season. And with our other online host, Taylor, getting the week off, I had too much fun last time, so I will be giving another Hero of the Week. Now for the TVC update. Since the Hocking crown hasn't been decided due to being postponed, we're going to hop into the tournament. The Federal Hocking Lancers fell to South Webster 51-27, ending their season. The Eastern Eagles had a chance to face Hocking leading Trimble, but fell in a close one to South Gallia, 55-57. And for the final team in the Hocking, Waterford is still yet to play, but will face off against 6th seed Sims Valley. For the girls of the Hocking, Waterford was set to play Thursday night, but was postponed, so unfortunately at the time of this taping, we don't have the result of their game against Clay. So to check the results of Waterford, Federal Hocking, and Eastern Girls Tournament games, go to woub.org/heroes to check out our recaps. Moving to the Ohio girls, Vinton County won their sectional championship, but fell to Washington Courthouse in their district semifinal, ending their season. And the Alexander Lady Spartans fell Thursday night in their district semifinal as well to Minford. And with Athens, Meigs, and Nelsonville-York losing earlier in the tournament, that concludes our tournament coverage for the girls of the TVC Ohio. But the boys in the TVC Ohio are still going strong. Friday night we saw a thriller of a TVC Ohio matchup that went to overtime between Vinton County and Athens, and Vinton County got that last laugh, winning 69-60. Our other TVC Ohio matchup between Alexander and NY wasn't as close, as Alex took care of business, taking down the Buckeyes 64-47. And the Meigs Marauders, they fell to 1 seed Oak Hill Friday night, ending their season as well. Now I'm joined on desk first by Alexander reporter Abby Kay. Abby, as I just mentioned, the Lady Spartans, they had 2 playoff games this week, once against the Coal Grove Lady Hornets, and then the other against the Minford Lady Falcons. Break down those games for us.
Nick, the Spartans are such a fun team to watch ice buckets on the court, but unfortunately due to snow and ice, we weren't able to make it out to their game on the 17th. But let's talk about their big win. The Lady Spartans took on the Hornets and were victorious when Rachel Richardson laid in a layup in the final seconds to win it 41-40, securing them a spot in the district semifinals. On Thursday against the Lady Falcons, Kenna Rice was explosive on the court, sinking 6 threes and scoring 26 of her team's 42 points. It was a showdown between Rice and the Lady Hornets' Erin Daniels, who collected 30 of her team's 50. The game was neck and neck up until the final 8 minutes when the Lady Spartans started to crack under the pressure. They struggled to maneuver around the Lady Falcons' defense, which resulted in several turnovers and contested shot attempts. In a tough scramble for the possession of the ball, the Spartans fired out 12 second-half fouls, sending Daniels to the free throw line 6 times, where she dropped 9 of 12, making the difference in the final score of 50-42.
So that's a wrap on their season. The Lady Spartans, they ended with a record of 17-7. Congrats to them on a great run. Now moving on to the boys. What happened in their game against Nelsonville-York?
On Tuesday, the Spartans took on the Buckeyes, and for the 3rd time this season, they walked out with a win. So let's talk about what contributed to this success. Right after tip-off, Dylan Meckham snagged a steal and made an easy drive down the lane. This would be his first of 4 steals and 11 points. The Spartans pulled forward with an early lead and used height to their advantage to hold on to it. Speaking of height, 6'9" sophomore Caleb Terry contributed 12 points and 8 boards. In quarter 3, the Buckeyes were able to cut the Spartans' lead to just 10 points, but it was not enough. The Spartans defeated NY with a final score of 64-47. Spartans senior Ryan Davidson put up 18 points and clutches on to at least one more game in his high school basketball career. We couldn't make it out to the sectional championship game versus the South Point Pointers before filming the show, but To learn whether the Alexander season continues on or not, check out woub.org/heroes.
Yeah, Abby, we know that all it takes is just one game to gain some momentum in the postseason. So thanks for that breakdown, Abby. Now, sticking to the TVC Ohio, the 9th-seeded Meigs Marauders had 2 playoff games this week, a close win against the Crooksville Ceramics, and that loss against the 1st-seeded Oak Hill Oaks. I have Meigs lead reporter Joe Hennessy and reporter Ethan Sands with me now. So, guys, how does the future look for this team now?
One word, bright. Weston Bear dropped 33 points in a playoff game. No matter the round or who the competition is, if you score 30-plus in a playoff game, you're a straight-up bucket getter, right, Ethan?
He was hooping in that game, Joe. Marauders took away that game in a close one, 63-60. Crooksville was definitely trying to prove that they weren't halfway crooks in this one, as they were firing from deep to keep the lead close in the first half. But the Marauders have been led by Bear and junior Zach Bartram all season. And yes, the Double Bs came out to ball. Bear was clutch as he knocked down 5 of 6 free throws in the final minute of the game to seal the deal.
The Marauders then took on top-seeded Oak Hill on Friday and the senior-led Oaks. The score going into the locker room at half, 26-20 Oaks. Then the offense got stagnant for Meigs. Bear was face-guarded, Bartram's shots weren't falling, and no one else was stepping up for the Marauders.
They lost that game 41-27, ending their season. But this Marauders team is young, so the fans have something to look forward to next year.
And Valentine's Day wasn't sweet for the Lady Marauders as their season ended at the hands of the 7th-seeded Oak Hill Lady Oaks, 41-39, as Taylor mentioned last week.
Well, the Lady Marauders did not go down without a fight, and their play epitomized the definition of heart, as players were diving on the ground for loose balls, trying to get any chance they could to pull away with the victory.
They fought the entire game. The Lady Marauders cut the 21-13 halftime lead to just 2 with less than 30 seconds left in the game. But a last-second turnover sealed their fate.
Cassidy Bessing played her heart out, Joe, as she was pouring all she had, blood, sweat, and tears that she had left to give her team momentum, but her 15 points simply weren't enough.
Yeah, Betsing wasn't the only one giving her, although Madison Fields was flying around on D and other girls contributed, Becca Pollins, Maddie Hendricks, but they couldn't pull off that comeback.
Though their season came to an end, like the boys, this is a young squad with talent.
Yeah, the ending of a season or a career is never a fun game to play in, but for both the boys and girls, they left it all on the court. And again, the future is promising for the Meigs Marauders.
Yeah, what a roller coaster of a year for both teams. Now, we can see their potential next year for sure. Thanks, guys. And for the Vinton County Vikings, their future is now. The girls' season ended while the boys narrowly escaped in an overtime victory against the Athens Bulldogs. I'm here with Vinton County reporter Catherine Moore. Now, Catherine, it sounds like there's some bittersweet feelings in MacArthur.
Nick, you're right about Vinton County fans having mixed feelings right now, but I'm someone who likes good news, so I'll start with the boys. The 4th-seeded Vikings headed to Logan Friday night where they faced the 5th-seeded Athens Bulldogs. Throughout the game, the Bulldogs bit at the heels of the Vikings, but neither team was able to pull away. Friday's game was the epitome of a playoff game. Every possession counted. It came down to the final 4 minutes of overtime where Jake Speakman dominated. He scored 8 of the 11 points on his own, including the final basket, ending his night at 22 points. Major props go out to Cameron Heyman, who racked up 17 points and shot 100% in the field. As they look ahead to the next round, Speakman reveals just one of the many secrets to Vinton County's continued success.
We're just kind of enjoying this. We got a rule, Combs always says, 24-hour rule. Just enjoy it. Even if we lose, get over it next day. Just next day we'll come in, and just get ready for whatever team we got next.
Now, I wish I could say the girls had the same fate as the boys, but unfortunately, the girls' season came to an end on Thursday night. The loss came at the claws of the Washington Courthouse Lady Blue Lions, who bested the Vikings 69-53. Living up to their menacing name, the Blue Lions played fiercely. They were swift on their feet, clean with their plays, and relentless on defense. The Vikings gave it their all, but had some fatal flaws. The most important, not being able to make their shots. Cassie and Morgan Bentley each put up 19 points, and Aaron Jones contributed 12. Combined, these players had 50 points. This means that besides these 3, every other person on the team combined for only 3 points. Coach Rod Bentley mentioned that despite this loss, there's a bigger picture to this season.
Well, it's always sad, but we gotta keep our heads up. We had a pretty good year. Proud of the way they turned out, and those 3 seniors that just left my locker room, I guarantee are going to be great people in society. And as a coach, that's what it's all about for me.
Nick, when Coach Bentley mentioned the Lady Vikings had a pretty good year, I thought it was much better than that. The girls finished 24-2, went undefeated in the TVC, and are already looking to excel for next season.
Well, 24-2 sure is something to be proud of. Thanks for the great work, Catherine. Now, not everyone is going to be able to make it to a tournament game over an hour away, so if you still want to see the best clips and highlights of your team's game, make sure to hit us up on YouTube. WOUB PBS is our account, and we have recaps with your team's footage along with it. These players deserve for you to watch them balling out and making deep runs in the tournament, so don't miss out on seeing them play. The Nelsonville-York Buckeyes ended their season on a 13-game losing streak and finished last place in the conference. Nelsonville-York reporters Nate Busilla and Jacob Murray joined us on site. Said, guys, would you say this is a season for the Buckeyes just to forget?
Nah, Nick, I wouldn't say that at all, man. They had a very solid start to the season, upsetting Vinton County and Trimble.
But the second half of the season definitely didn't go as expected.
Oh, and Jacob, there are plenty of positives to take away from it.
Like Ethan Boyer's return in the first round. Although they lost, his 21 points elevated this team, showing that his ankle hasn't slowed him down. He might have been working on his game a bit too, as he splashed 2 3-pointers, something we haven't seen much from him before this injury.
He was the only returning varsity player from the previous year, and he'll be back again next year, along with the majority of the Buckeyes rotation. They typically run 7 or 8 guys deep, and of that group, senior Jonathan Richards is the only one who will not be returning.
His ability to run the court and finish around the rim will surely be missed, but we saw guys that are capable of replacing that aspect of the game.
Braden Allen, Keegan Wilburn, 2 guys that can leap out of the gym. And check out this play right here. Braden Allen, he takes the steal and he's taking this down the court. And what's he doing? Hammering that one home.
Woo! Can't wait to see more of that next year. Along with the Splash Brothers, Mikey Seal and Justin Perry, this is a team you won't want to forget.
We're looking forward to seeing some more highlight plays from the boys next year, but for the girls, can they move on without Jessie Addis?
It'll be tough to replace her leadership and her 22 points per game, but if there's anyone that NY fans can look forward to leading the team next year, it's Mary Kate McCullough.
Oh yeah, that girl can knock down shots from anywhere in the gym, Jacob. She's shooting 42% from behind the arc this year. Is it too early to start the Diana Taurasi comparisons?
She did show us some Diana-esque flashes, specifically in the team's first meeting with Alexander. Someone should have called the fire department, because man, she was on fire.
Oh, the Lady Spartans attempted to extinguish that flame, but Mary was too hot. She finished with 29 points, including 18 from downtown.
She added 5 steals in what Coach Cassidy said was probably the team's biggest win of the year. If this team wants to be successful next year and they have the firepower to do so, they should lean on Mary Kate.
Yeah, it sounds like both teams are going to be strong next year. Thanks for the great work, guys. Now switching over to the Hocking, the Eastern Eagles headed into their playoff matchup against South Gallia on a high note, but they couldn't get the dub. Now I'm with Eastern reporter Nate Moore to tell us what led to their early exit.
Nick, this was a tough one to swallow for every Eastern fan, as South Gallia won this game in the final seconds. The Eagles headed into the game looking to avenge their 57-36 loss to the Red Bulls earlier in the season and came out hot from the very start. Coach Hill changed his starting lineup by putting Caleb Hill on the bench and starting forward Mason Dishon for the first time this season to run some new plays on offense. The move would turn out to be effective as Isaiah Fish and Colton Reynolds were able to find the rhythm and help the Eagles jump out to an early lead. The Eagles were in control the whole game and had led by as many as 14 until disaster struck in the fourth. In the final 7 minutes, Eastern committed 11 turnovers and allowed South Gallia to tie the game with a minute left. South Gallia's Braxton Hardy would drive, but Blaze Facemeyer would take a charge to give Eastern the ball, only for the Eagles to turn the ball right back over the next possession. The Rebels took advantage this time as Curtis Hayner would take the ball and hit a game-winning floater with 1 second left, and the Eagles' playoff hopes.
Yeah, these types of games are always tough to bounce back from. However, this team, they return all of its players except Caleb Hill next year, and it looks like they're going to be pretty strong, and it's pretty bright for next season, right?
Absolutely. Going to definitely be returning a lot of players, key thing for the Eagles. And this game is going to be a heck of a matchup for the girls as they play Notre Dame this Saturday. It's a rematch of last year's divisional round playoff game. Last year's game was a complete thriller as both teams went back and forth with one another the entire game. The game even went into overtime with Eastern pulling out a win due to Laura Poland's late game heroics. The question this season was, without Poland's, how would this team match up? In their previous game this season, the Lady Eagles lost 56-41 as they struggled to stop senior Lexi Smith and 6'4" center Katie Detwiller. If Eastern wants to walk away with the win, they're going to have to play big, hit the boards hard, and stick to that high ball pressure defense.
It'll be exciting to see how Eastern responds to that early loss that they had in the season. Now, thanks for the report, Nate. Now, back in the day, Facebook shook the world. Here at Hardwood, we like to show Mark Zuckerberg some love. If you head over to our Facebook, you can see game recaps, breaking news, and if we're feeling crazy, maybe even a little Facebook Live action. So swing on over to goodoldfacebook.com, search Hardwood Heroes, and give us a like. Be sure to tag us in posts and let us know how you feel. Last week I had a lot of fun making my first Hero of the Week pick with Tommy Gahn, But I'm glad to have you back, Tommy. And apparently you're back with something big.
So big you could say 1,000 large, Nick, but hey, I'll give you credit. Great job filling in for me. You gave me some extra time to spend in the film room to break down my top 1,000 point plays. And number 3 happened in the alley. This isn't the flashiest play, but it shows off her high basketball IQ. Roll the clip, baby. Rachel Richardson sets it up top. We're going to freeze it right here. Kenna Rice sets a screen for her, and she's going to read it like she's a quarterback in a read option. If the defender comes up, she's going to blow past her. If she's going to sag off, she's going to take the jumper. That's what she does. Book that jumper for 2, baby. Happy mom, happy dad. And we got a whole nother year of her in the black and red. And you know, Nick, with her old sister Leah gone, this was the first year Rachel has ran the point. And when I talked to head coach Jeff Grinstead, he's been blown away with the transition that Rachel has made to the point.
Now, another year with Rachel at the helm. Coach Grinstead, he has to like his chances with this team only losing 1 starter next year.
I couldn't agree more, Nick. Moving on to number 2, we talk about him a lot for good reason. But Nayland Yates, man, some of the best marksmanship in the TVC Ohio, and I'll tell you why. Bryce Stammer is going to get the ball in the post here, and this is where I'll freeze it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you're 6'8". You attract 4 defenders, and that's going to leave Nayland open, and you just can't do that. Open season for him all day long. Bryce is going to give him a little baseball pass straight to him, and Nayland does the rest. Splash, cash money, take that 1,000 large straight to the bank, my man. And you know, I've watched Nayland dominate on the gridiron and ball out on the hardwood. Tri-Valley Conference Player of the Year for football, 1,000 point scorer in basketball. The kid can do it all, man.
Yeah, he's nothing short of spectacular. All right, Tommy, top 1,000 point play.
Now,
lay it on me.
Nick, it's no secret that the Waterford Lady Wildcats are special. A few weeks ago, you mentioned this team has not lost a conference game in 4 years, and Allie Kern is a big reason for that. She checks in as my number 1 play. Cue it up for me. This cool cat is going to set it up top. She's out on an island all on her own, and this is where I'm going to freeze it, and this is where Jerry Close just says, my athletes are better than yours. Allie, we'll go ahead. We'll give you the lane. You just go get me a bucket, and this is what I like to say, ISO Allie K. She drives baseline. She's going to jump in the air, fade away, and to get to 1,000, you need some luck on your side. Ball bounces around, goes down, and hey, high fives all around for Allie.
Hey, ISO Allie K, I like that. You gave SportsCenter a run for their money there, Tom.
Hey, I appreciate it, and hey, you never know, maybe Bristol will be giving me a call.
All right, on our season finale next week, we'll take a deeper look into our 1,000-point scores, and later on, Tommy and I will be making our Hero of the Week picks for the rest of the season. Now, with games being win or go home, it is extremely important that you find out what happened during your favorite team's games. WOUB.org/heroes is that place to go find out everything about the game and everything about postseason games that we cover. So we'll have video and written recaps of each tournament game, so it's crucial you make sure what happened at WOUB.org/heroes. The Lancer season may be over, but Federal Hocking is already looking toward the future and revamping their team and the way they play the game. Federal Hocking lead reporter Will Collins has the scoop on how they are starting to turn their program around.
Things are definitely starting to change out in Stewart, Nick. Now, with the state of Lancer basketball is going to change.
Now that the Lancer season is over, it is time to take a look back and see how the boys progressed throughout the 2017-2018 season. The Lancers and first-year head coach Kevin Dunnigan had their share of tough matchups, TVC Hocking battles, and some close games. Federal Hocking notched its first 2 wins in nearly as many seasons, and despite going 2-21 this season, this team has a lot to look forward to in the coming years. This team is a young team, and at points this season they would start 3 freshmen, Nate Massey, Hunter Smith, and Colin Jarvis, a sophomore, Brad Russell, and a senior, Brandon Gould. These young players would all show flashes of major potential down the stretch, and showed that they could lead their team. Nate Massey was the first young guy to make a major impact when he scored a career-high 31 points in a win against South Gallia back in December. Hunter Smith was not far behind him though, and he showed his versatility and quickness often. He can shoot from the perimeter and finish under the basket as well. But don't forget about Brad Russell. He made his presence felt in the paint all season long, making plays on both offense and defense, and he provided Fed Hawk with post play that they could depend on. Someone else, though, to give a lot of credit to is head coach Kevin Dunnigan. Since Dunnigan took the helm of this Lancer squad, they have made a total culture change. The focus and improvement that this team has shown is second to none, and they play with heart. Federal Hocking has a bright future coming and will be a force to be reckoned with for years to come in the TVC Hocking. Led by their young stars and Coach Dunnigan, the sky is the limit for the Lancers.
Yeah, it seems like Lancers, they're headed in the right direction, right?
It seems they're primed for the future, Nick.
Yeah, so as for the Lady Lancers, at the time of this recording, they are not able to play. So make sure to check us out on all of our social media to make sure you find out what happened during that game. Now, that's woub.org/heroes. Now, Will, we know you know your Lancers, so we'll have to take your word on it on how they improve for next season. Keeping things in the TVC Hocking, Waterford reporter Connor Mills joins us on Sideset to discuss some Lady Wildcat basketball.
Nick, the floodwaters have been rising and put the water in Waterford. Lady Wildcats would have played Clay by the time of the airing of the show, but you can head on over to woub.org/heroes for the coverage of the upcoming game. The Lady Wildcats would not have been in action for over a week before taking on Clay, but long rest has not stopped them before. Coming off 9 days rest earlier this season, the girls beat their opponent by 44 points. All season long, Waterford has been able to rely on Megan Ball and Allie Kern, but this team goes much deeper than just them. Rachel Adams, Hannah, and Haley Duff are all key contributors. To win the way they have over the years, it takes a team, and when someone is having an off day, another girl always steps up. Let's flash back to last year. Haley Duff was trusted with the seconds left in the fourth quarter and got the ball, made the layup, and advanced the team into the finals. Against Eastern, Adams put the team on her back with 20 points and added great defense to put the game away. When a team performs at this high of a level, the state recognizes them coming into the postseason. The Wildcats were fourth coming into the tournament last year and clawed their way up to number 1 spot this year in Division IV and the AP State Poll. Rain or shine, Coach Close will have Waterford ready for the next opponent.
Connor, thanks for the info, and don't go too far. We still have the boys and the Hocking Crown to discuss. With games being farther than usual, it is more important than ever to stay updated on Twitter during your favorite team's games. We send reporters out to each game to tweet out updates so that you know what's going on at all times. If you can't make it to a game or for any reason, don't worry, just check out Hardwood Heroes on Twitter. Now, Trimble and Waterford have yet to battle it out for the top of the Hocking. Trimble reporter T. Willis joins Connor Mills on Sideset to talk about the upcoming rematch of these two teams.
Nick, it seems as if Mother Nature does not want a Hocking champion to be crowned.
We all know that cats don't like water, and for the second time this season, both teams don't want to get their paws wet.
Connor, I'm sure you're just as disappointed as I am that Waterford and Trimble couldn't play on Thursday, but now we have a chance to really break down this matchup.
We have a pretty good idea how this game is going to go, as both teams played each other just last week. With the title on the line, the Wildcats stayed alive and downed the Tomcats 56-47. Peyton Stevens was the X factor and dropped a team-high 20 points. Stevens is coming alive at the right time of the season, and with him alongside Bryce Hilverding and Travis Pottmeyer, they'll cause problems for the Tomcats yet again.
Not so fast. I know this team isn't going down without a fight. Even on Waterford's best game defensively, they couldn't stop Randy Hickson as he finished with 28 points. Although they struggled offensively as a unit, the Tomcats have strong shooters like Bryce Richards, a floor general in Cam Kittle, and they can always rely on my man Max Hooper to crash the glass. When Trimble's firing on all cylinders, there's no way they can be stopped.
See, unlike you, Trimble just does not have the height to match up well against Waterford, and that's why the Wildcats will win the Hocking back-to-back years.
Well, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, Connor, but I think Waterford's going to come up just a bit short like you.
Well, guys, hey, T, you can't be doing my man Connor like that. Come on now. Well, with your guys' heights aside, winning this game will be no small task. Thanks, you two. Back to the tournament. The Athens Bulldogs met a familiar foe in the first round of the postseason. Athens lead reporter Nick Ursini joins me on desk to break down the Bulldogs' round 1 matchup.
Round 3 between the Vikings and the Bulldogs. You cannot ask for a better matchup, this time with a neutral site and a chance to end your rival season. It was packed at Jim Myers Gymnasium, and the fans were not disappointed. A back-and-forth first quarter had Vinton County out in front by just 1 point, and every time the Bulldogs went on a bit of a run, the Vikings answered with their own run. The trio of Nayland Yates, Cameron Hammond, and Jake Speakman all had answers for Athens. Down by 8 with 8 minutes to go, the Bulldogs finally had the Vikings on the ropes. Their defense stepped up. They cut the lead to 5 points with 2 minutes left, and Isaiah Butcher tied it up 58-58. And after 2 missed free throws from Speakman, Justin Hines was fouled with 7.8 seconds left in the game. He missed both of those free throws, and the game went to overtime. In overtime, Speakman scored the first 5 points, and the Vikings outscored Athens 11-2 in the 4-minute overtime period to claim the sectional championship. 69-60, absolute crushing loss for the Bulldogs.
Nick, you're right. Crushing is a good word to describe it, but I'm going to go with heartbreaking. That was a heartbreaking loss to end their season and their 9-game winning streak. It ends with the Vikings winning that rubber match. Now, both the boys and the girls' seasons, it ended at Jim Myers Gymnasium.
Yeah, Nick, another early season postseason loss for the Lady Bulldogs, but the girls from the Plains, they are going to be back next season as they return a ton of talent. The Sheridan Lady Generals ended Athens' season with a 62-26 victory at Logan. Their record and score results are not always an indication of how hard this Athens team plays. They play with effort, toughness, and never quit until the final buzzer sounds, regardless of the score. The good news for the Lady Bulldogs and their fans is they return their entire starting lineup and lose just one senior to graduation. Junior Lily Mills, Emma Harder, and Kaylee Stewart gain another year of varsity experience. Sophomores Laura Mandrick and Mindy Gregory continue to elevate their game to a higher level, and freshman Bella Tan earned valuable time on the court with their stingy defense and smooth jump shot. And head coach Seth Matheny handled his first year well. He implemented a new style of offense that allows open shots for shooters like Mandrick and Stewart. He uses Lily Mills down low to make their post-game presence felt. It was a huge step in the right direction this past season for the Lady Bulldogs as they turn their attention to 2018.
Yeah, just from watching both of these teams, they have a lot of young talent, so obviously they're going to be returning a lot. So, hey, they're teams to watch out for in 2018. Thanks for the breakdown, Nick. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's time for our last Heroes of the Week. Again, like last week with Taylor gone, I'll step into her place. Tommy, can you believe it? This is it.
It hasn't sunk in yet, man. I mean, it's been a lot of fun, and I think we saved our best heroes for last. And I mentioned in my first segment about Rachel Richardson, but she would not be as successful if it wasn't for her partner in crime, Kenna Rice. Nick, it just seems like Rachel and Kenna always know where the other one is on the court all the time. You see that here because Rachel feeds Kenna after that nice cut to the basket for the easy two, but you got to be a two-way player to be my hero, and Kenna does that when she plays the passing lanes, turning them into easy deuces on the other end. But back to the chemistry between these two. I mean, look at this pass. Rachel finds Kenna under the rim for two of her team leading 26, as mentioned earlier, and man, was she cooking against Minford. Nick, she was cooking some chicken fried rice, baby. Can to three there, and again, Rachel finds her to hit from distance. 6 triples, as Abby said earlier. The Lady Spartans, their season may be over, Nick, but it's a hot take season, and with Rachel and Kenna back next year, they are my pick to win the TVC Ohio. Yeah, what a tandem they are. You know, we got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, the Splash Brothers in the NBA. Is it safe to say that they're the Splash Sisters of the TVC Ohio? I would have to agree. All right, well, I'm going to make my boys' hero pick of the week, and with my first ever Meigs hero, Weston Bear, one half of the Double Bs. Last week I picked a sophomore, and Weston is another one, and let me tell you, this kid got it done Monday night for the Marauders with a 33-point effort taking down Crooksville. Meigs might have lost and ended their season Friday night, but he's going to be a scary player for other teams in the TVC for years to come. Weston's ball handling is his best attribute. It's like he's got that ball on a string, Tommy, and the way he uses it to his advantage, he can get to the rim with ease or create his own outside shot for three. I mean, if you're going out for 33 points in a tournament game, you've got to be doing something right. I mean, just watch him play, Tommy. Defenders simply can't guard how quick Weston is. Now, as I mentioned before, he is just a sophomore, and his counterpart, Zach Bartram, is a junior, and with losing nobody to graduation, this Meigs team, they're only going to get better. Now, the Double Bs with some more experience under their belt, Tomer, this could be a scary Marauder team in the future. And I can definitely get behind that. I like them a lot, too. Our heroes are carrying momentum into next year, and speaking of next year, we have our all-hero and all-future teams coming out. It's going to be fun to decide. Yeah, so we've had 7 weeks and 14 heroes, and Tommy, that's what I'm looking forward to. And it's not just me and you and Taylor making these picks. Our whole staff gets a say on who's going to be our whole hero team of the week and futures. Now, with those 2 sophomores that I picked, you know, future team might be loaded. No, it's safe to say we're going to be very active on social media to try and figure out who we're going to pick, so it should be a lot of fun. Now, that's all we got for today's show. Now, make sure to keep up with all of our online content, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. We got it all for you. Now, until next week, Tommy, I'm Nick Niehaus reminding you to be heroic.